Okay, up next is Captain America, the First Avenger, directed by Johnston and starring Chris Evans.
Chris Evans stars as Steve Rogers, a poor youth from New York who is horrified by Nazi newsreels and attempts to enlist, but is routinely rejected because he is too weak and too frail. Overhearing the boy's pleas, an army general offers Steve a chance to be part of a special experiment that gives him superhuman strength. Reborn as Captain America and armed with his indestructible shield and combat savvy, Steve goes to battle against the Red Skull and leads the Avengers as a sentinel of liberty.
Okay, well, let's talk about the story. Tyler, what did you think?
You know, we've seen the Nazis as the villains a million times. We've been to World War II all over the place. But to me, Captain America had really a fresh take on it. Captain America, the character, I really resonated with. He has a strong drive to be part of the war effort and to protect and help his country. Sure. And I really resonated with that, and especially since he's kind of a scrawny guy and then becomes, you know, a subject for the experiment to become a super soldier.
You brought a 90-pound asthmatic onto my army base. I let it slide. I thought, what the hell? Maybe it'd be useful to you, like a gerbil. Look at that. He's making me cry.
I was really thrilled with how they were able to bring his exact comic book costume into the film in a non-corny way, and then when he actually starts fighting, they kind of adjust his costume and kind of tone it down to a really nice blend between his comic book duds and a military uniform. I thought it worked well. It was believable. And then hit the villain. Now, Spider-Man has the Green Goblin. X-Men have Magneto, and Captain America has the Red Skull. The Red Skull has,
Awkward.
It's always been
It's
kind of
just
groan-inducing, kind of, I thought that they were going to tone that Red Skull down to something, the way they did the costume. And to me, it's kind of the visual low point of the film because it's so over-the-top looking, and it's just so silly. While comic book fans, I think, will accept it because it doesn't look the way it does in the comics, non-comic book fans are kind of going to giggle derisively when they see it.
No, I actually thought it looked cool, mainly because I'm not a big Captain America fan, but I have friends who are big fans, and when they saw the preview, they literally paused it when he was taking off it, and they were like, oh my god, that looks so cool.
I like that coat.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
Nazis have some good clothes, man.
I can
Costume
see myself in
design
that
is
trench.
But honestly, the most groan-inducing part of this movie, this otherwise really good, pretty good movie, has got to be that Hydra salute.
Don't talk about it. And you did it.
Hydra! I'm sorry, I had to do it.
Don't ever do that on a date.
I promise. I won't
And don't
do it
ever do that in front of a girl.
I really loved how they updated it and made it feel kind of gritty, but it still stayed true to the same Captain America we've always seen.
Yeah.
Well, what did you guys think about the cast?
I thought Chris Evans was casted perfectly as Steve Rogers, and what's great is that his acting it's very reserved, and it's not over the top, you know, like most people would assume for Captain America. And I mean, even though it was a little awkward at first to see him as skinny Steve, after a while I really believed him as this character, so much so that when he like got all bulky, it just didn't match with his personality, which I felt like was good because I honestly really identified with this character, which was that doesn't happen that often in superhero movies. I rarely can identify with the characters.
Yeah, I completely agree with you because when I first saw the trailer for Captain America, I thought, oh my god, it's going to be one of those cocky performances because of Chris Evans' previous roles in Fantastic Four.
Yeah.
You know, I just feel like, okay, it's going to be the cocky smirk all the time.
Yeah.
But instead, you know, I really enjoyed his performances. He had this boy next door quality that just made him seem a lot more genuine. And it definitely made me believe in him and actually root for him as well.
When he was the most amazing looking boy next door. Let's just please note
Yes,
that.
and of course he has that, you know, beautiful face and that just unbelievable physique to the point I was
kind of ridiculous.
I know that you put on like 50 pounds where you didn't put steroids, but you look like you're on steroids, but in a positive way.
I did it. Yeah. I think we did it.
How'd you feel?
Taller.
Well, I mean, moving off of like the performances, I mean, the other kind of big star of this film is Johnston. What did you guys think of his work on this?
First of all, let me just mention that Johnston is actually alumni for the cinema school at USC. Yeah, alma mater. He's done a really good job translating the comic book version into the movie. However, I guess it's because of that, I felt like the editing, especially the flow between each sequences, were slightly choppy.
To me, he does everything that he needs to do to make a comic book movie work. And that is, I love to see the fighting style, the Captain America fighting style, right? Every superhero has their own unique style of fighting that the fans of that hero want to see. And Johnston brings that.
Okay, gentlemen, shall we put it to a vote?
Sure.
All right, take your tickets, please. So the film is Captain America, First Avenger. How do you guys want to vote?
Despite the fact that I wanted more emotional development out of this movie, I was more than happy to forgive it. So I would say see it.
Captain America is a fun summer movie, and comic book fans and regular audiences are gonna enjoy it. So see it.
So it's fanboy tested and approved?
Indeed.
Okay.
I thought the writing was really sharp. I identified with Captain America, the character, and I thought World War II was brought to life very well. I say see it.
I also think this was a great film. One of the first times I've ever been able to really identify with the protagonist. And though it should have taken a lot more chances, I still think it's a see it.
Wow, okay, that's 4 tickets for a see it for Captain America.
All right.
All right, so we
Alrighty.
cheers.
Cheers.
Now,
Cheers.
is there something patriotic in Captain America?
I could do the Hydra salute again.
That's not really patriotic.
Sleep. No.